Hey guys, this is Nate and this is the Nader Tater channel. Hey, I just got done building the dirt track in my backyard and it is awesome. So I wanted to share it with you guys, and it's a two-part video for the build because it took 2 days. So I'm splitting it up just to help shorten the length. Feel free to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you'll get notified. One thing I will say is I'm dedicating this track to my younger brother Spencer, who recently passed away, unfortunately due to an ATV accident. So this is a reminder to all you guys to please buckle up if you are in a UTV or side-by-side that has them, and always wear your helmets. I love having fun, but we got to be safe out there. Thanks guys.
All right, so we are at the beginning of day 2 now. Sun's just coming up. We got the dozer here. We filled it up last night with diesel fuel, so it should be ready to go right now after we let it warm up a little bit. You can see we have a lot of the track work done. Obviously this corner right here, right by the dozer, and this straightaway going this way is going to have some kind of undulations going in it. So that part's not done, and then we got to clean up all of the rest of the track to smooth it out and make sure everything is kind of flowing correct. So we're gonna get going on that. I have the time-lapse set up, so we'll show that happening, and then maybe we'll get some more footage of it as well. But I'm pretty excited to see how this goes. And then the next step, of course, is trying to get some vehicles out on it and see how it runs. So Jeremy says this is the unfun part of the job. You got to shovel out the clay on the track, on the rollers, otherwise it gets clogged up, especially if it dries overnight, then it gets harder. So we get it now while it's at least a little bit soft, and clean it out. So these are things with a dozer that maybe not everyone shares with people. Alright, so the other interesting thing about a dozer that some people don't know about is the throttle. So basically there's a knob on this machine that you turn it and it goes to wide open throttle. And it stays there because most of the time when you're working, it's kind of like a lawnmower, right? You're always running at full throttle, full tilt. But then if you do want to go slower or you want to reverse direction, the pedal that you normally think of as a throttle pedal, that's actually a decel pedal. So that actually that cuts off throttle the farther you push it down. So if you depress it all the way, that actually puts you back at 0 throttle. So that's how he runs this machine. He runs it basically full tilt, and then only when you want to slow down, you press the pedal. So that's kind of backwards from what any other machine is like. All right, so here's the setup for fuel. He's got 50 gallons here in the back of the pickup truck, and that's really the best way to get that much fuel over to the dozer itself. You don't want to be carrying 10 5-gallon jugs or something like that. So this thing takes 50 or 60 gallons of diesel fuel. So that's what we do there. Got my receipts for day 1, and let's see what it ran. I mean, it was about, so here's 100 and maxed out, and then had to run the cart again, and it was another 60 bucks. So 160 bucks for 1 day, roughly. That's basically 50 gallons. That's about what it runs. So I gotta double that for day 2. So we'll see how it goes. right, guys, there we have it. It is all done. Now this is a couple days later. It's rained a couple times, and I've also smoothed out the track a little bit with a simple drag. I'll show you that next. But you know, just so you know, this track is on a 3-acre field, is how much space we took up, and it's right at 2,200 feet long. So you know, we could have made it more you know, curvy and take up every last inch, but then we would run out of places to drain the water. So we intentionally did the track like this with some unused lanes in between them so we could drain the water that way, and I can tell you that worked well. So I appreciate Jeremy thinking about that, the water management portion, to make sure that this track is useful year round. So Jeremy does do this on the side. And you know, to give you a rough idea of cost, I got a little bit lucky because Jeremy is close to me, and so he also has buddies around here that have dozers, and that's what we ended up using. We didn't have to actually go to a rental place to rent the dozer, so we got a good deal on that. And then also, since Jeremy didn't have to travel, that also made it cheaper for me as well. But to give you a rough idea, it's about $250 an hour, including the dozer, the fuel, Jeremy's labor. And you know, I looked at doing it myself, and you know, you can rent a dozer. The problem is Jeremy knocked this out in about 18 hours of work, and so you know, it would have taken me a lot longer because I've never driven a dozer that big. I've driven little bobcats and that kind of stuff. So the amount of money it cost to rent the dozer, you know, if I had to do double or triple the amount of time he did, obviously it pays for someone that's skilled to come out here and do it. And additionally, he's done a lot of tracks, so he kind of knows what to do where I would be guessing. So anyways, you know, it was 2 days of work, and one day was like 12 hours and one day was like 6 hours or so. So that's about 18 hours of work. So I think it was faster than even Jeremy was expecting. It was faster than I expected, by far. And I think that was partly because of the big dozer that we got, which helped move a lot of dirt quickly. So let me show you a little bit how I cleaned up the surface after the dozer left. You know, the one thing I will say is the ground was more wet than was ideal. So there was places where the clay would clump up and it wasn't smooth. So there's some places on the track when Jeremy finished, it wasn't smooth enough to drive fast on. So I had to clean it up just a little bit on the surface. And I'm gonna keep something up. I have to come up with a little drag or something to keep maintenance on it. But let's go through and show you how the track looks. All right, so I'm out here, first evening after the track's done, and the girls are out there doing some little warm-up laps, trying to get used to it. The track's still soft because it just got built, so it's not very compacted yet. It's supposed to rain, and once it rains, then dries out, it'll start to settle and compact and get harder. What do you think of it? Good?
Yeah.
got completed a couple days ago, and I want to try to clean up a little bit. You know, it's still all soft ground because obviously it was a low ground pressure dozer, so it actually doesn't compact it too much. So even the little spark here put some ruts in the ground, you can kind of see. And so I need to really level it out. And obviously you can get like a drag harrow or a land leveler. You know, I do have a Bobcat toolcat that I can put skid steer attachments on, so that's my plan. But just the quick and dirty redneck method, I'm gonna drag a old this is like a metal shelving that's a little bit bent up on the corners, and it's you know, I don't use it, so it's just sitting up in the attic of the barn. So I grabbed that, hooked up to the chain. I'm gonna grab a couple 40-pound bags of dirt, throw them on top of there, and I'm gonna drag it and see what it does. I think it's gonna do something. It'll clean up a little bit, and then long term I'm gonna probably fabricate up a little metal drag leveler to do maintenance on it. But I'm gonna try this out and see how it goes. All right, so now I got my 2 40-pound bags of topsoil on it just to weigh it down.